Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Bills going up against the Eagles. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Buffalo Bills. Welcome in, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So you've got 1 week of preseason games in the books. Now you start to really assess some of the vets and, of course, some of the young players.
You're exactly right, because now there's a week's worth of film out there for everyone to watch. And for guys who may or may not make these particular teams, that film will be out there around the league, so maybe they can catch on somewhere else if they have to. But this will be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Leading them out in his 7th year now out of Virginia Tech, Tyrod Taylor.
In his 2 years as a starting quarterback in Buffalo, he had over 1,100 yards on the ground, so we know that he can scoot. But don't underestimate his right arm either. 37 touchdown passes and just 12 interceptions in those 2 seasons.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And his first pass is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. He's going to air it out deep for Matt. And got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And here's the first carry of the game for the former Eagle, LaShawn McCoy. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. And the defense now for the Eagles.
I'm going to take a good, strong look at the veteran presence in the secondary. That is Malcolm Jenkins. Starts at safety, plays cornerback when they go into their nickel sets. He can move inside and cover the slot receivers. He's also a guy who knows how to turn the football around when he picks it off. 3 interceptions in 2016, 2 of them returned for touchdowns.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy, and it's third down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
On third down, Taylor out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down, and that is incomplete here. That one intended for Anquan Bolden, and that'll bring up second down. This, of course, week 2 of the preseason, but we did have a couple of teams that got the extra game. The Hall of Fame game was played on a Thursday this year between Arizona and Dallas.
Yeah, and they welcomed in this year's Hall of Fame class of 2017. And what a class it was. Morton Anderson, the kicker, Terrell Davis, Kenny Easley, Jerry Jones, Jason Taylor, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Kurt Warner.
Second down, it's McCoy. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So important that you keep an opening drive going because you want to set the tempo right away. And you and I both know you can't set a tempo if you're punting the football away.
Yeah, maybe early. Don't want to be too over the top, but you're right. Big third down conversion. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game too. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Nick O'Leary, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Many wondered if the Eagles gave up way too much to get the number 2 pick from Cleveland in order to draft Carson Wentz. But after his freshman campaign in the NFL, I think people believe they see positive signs from a big, strong-arm guy, an intelligent guy, and a really competitive player.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And his first look is incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Second down following the incompletion. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Escaping the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket. Completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while. And at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77. So not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar athletic ability.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Lorenzo Alexander's journey is one for the ages. Came out of college as a defensive tackle, defensive end. Got to the NFL. He's played outside linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end, some fullback, and went to the Pro Bowl as a special teamer before a breakout year in 2016 with 12.5 sacks as a linebacker.
On second down, here's Wentz. Flushed out right. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it with Sproles. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Flush to his right. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey from 3 yards out. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out come the Bills. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Again, it's McCoy. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Now Taylor to throw on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles take possession. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of what defenses want to do against him, and really has a great determination to go up and get the football. He decides it's his and no one else's.
And he's decided that a lot so far in this game. First down, Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
So why do you spend a first-round pick on a cornerback for plays just like the one we saw there? They think very highly of this young man, and he rewarded him in a big way, making a nice play on that deep ball.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Now Wentz on third down. Buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-all is the score. And we're back to Philadelphia after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Donnie Jones set to punt it away now in his 14th year in the NFL as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Shrugs him off. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And here come the Bills. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On second down, Taylor. It's caught. Reception by Holmes. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. On first down, it's Taylor. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Taylor going to throw again. He gets it complete to Anquan Bolden. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Anquan Bolden, 65 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz now on first down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up second down.
I'm sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing now is Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up fourth down. Here's Donnie Jones now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time. And now it's second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And he's got LaShawn McCoy off to the races. 30, 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 79 yards. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now it's Sproles. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's Sproles. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
First and 10. Here's Wentz. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. Torrey Smith, watch and go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Torrey Smith, 40 yards. There the Eagles are back within a score. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. On the return, this is Rashad Ross now. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And some room to roam now. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. LaShawn McCoy ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Hauschka now for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Now Wentz throwing on second down. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Wentz now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on second down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Shotgun now for Wentz. Forced out to his left, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. Wentz to throw on second down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So they're operating in the red zone. From the red zone now, Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. From the gun, it's Wentz. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room, as we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Eagles are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Bills have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Bills have it at the 9. Oh, Larry's wide open here on the catch, and he'd cap off the 10-play drive with a TD as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Eagles on offense, first quarter winding down. Bills have it early in the second. Wentz is on target here, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Eagles tied up at 7. Bills with the ball midway through the second. McCoy's going to take it off.
Yeah, I'm with you. Who wants highlights from the second week of preseason? Let's get back to the action as we're ready to start the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
They run with Pumphrey. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Fourth-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go, but I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck, as some guys may have fallen to them, but for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Pumphrey last year at San Diego State led the country over 2,100 yards rushing. The question now, how do you see him translating to the NFL?
Well, I hear all the naysayers talk about him being less than 180 pounds, but look, the production at San Diego State, the number of carries, this kid has toughness. He will carry the ball and surprise people. And look, he broke Marshall Faulk's record at San Diego State. That's got to count for something.
And this is LaFell. It's caught. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Foles, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is, can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Smallwood. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Foles. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Eagles on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now Peterman on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. From the gun on third down, Peterman. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Eagles. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Foles. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Back to throw now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The veteran Brent Selleck, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now they go screen. It's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll run here with Pumphrey. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Pumphrey. And he lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Following the fumble recovery, it's Peterman. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the 4th quarter. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Peterman. His throw incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Peterman. And that will be incomplete as well.
That's really nice coverage there. I'm not sure he would have gotten to the 1st down marker anyway, but boy, oh boy, did they blanket him.
Yeah, short throw, but he really didn't have many options. Had to force it in. Well, he didn't have to, but he chose to force it in somewhere. Incomplete.
Yeah, now it brings up 4th down.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And they have the football that will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And this is a situation where defensively, Brandon, you're going to be so excited. It's getting late. You've got the lead. No reason to not just pin your ears back and go. Bring the pressure. And here they hit him as he's releasing the football, and that's going to help lead to the interception.
All right, here we go.
Throwing now, Peterman on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Here's Jones, and they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Again, it's Jones. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The Bills on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20, 10, touchdown Eagles. And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a one-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Point after now from Sturgis. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Well, they say the kickoff can be one of the most exciting plays in football. It proves so there. 104 yards on the return. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. We put our attention now on the Eagles' defense. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, could have. Now can they carry that over? 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. But not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Here's Peterman to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
The Bills on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he finds LaFell complete. He's at the 30. 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one's incomplete.
Do you have one of those charts that tells you to go for 2 or go for 1?
I don't. I know you do, but I don't care what the chart says there. You got to kick it, right?
I agree totally, because somewhere the chart's something's gonna pop out of the chart and say, hey man, just kick the extra point here. You're in good shape. I think they were chasing points there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, try to get a little bit greedy, take the lead in the 4th quarter. Now they still trail by 1. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Play action. Now Peterman. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. The Eagles hustling to the line. Clock rolling. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. He's back to throw. And it's caught by Saleh. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Five yards left for the offense. It's second down. They'll run again with Pumphrey. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. Ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. They're going to keep it on the ground. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Nathan Peterman out for his next drive. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
Yeah, he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Yeah, there was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. So they had to take the shot there. Obviously, that was pretty much it, their last chance.
No other play for them, right? I mean, there's no other choice. It's not like you can have some strategy move, right? Punt it away and hope to. No, that's what they had to do. Right now, that offensive unit, they're pretty discouraged on the sidelines. They're going to feel like they let the team down in that situation, but they were.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ryan Davis in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for him.
And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.
I feel good about that game. That was game 2 of the regular season, preseason, I mean, for Madden 18. So, anyway, this was week 2, and until next time, this is David B69, and I'm out. Please smash that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate a subscription for more of these videos. Anyways, thanks for watching again.